Saffron Group seek ban on Muslims in Holi. Call for Mahakumbh-like ban in Mathura. Boycott Hindu shops campaign in Bhopal. Messages urge Muslims to buy from Muslim shops in Madhya Pradesh. Community divide deepens amid calls for boycotts. Opposition accuses BJP of trying to divide India. Divisive colours ahead of Holi.
Unity in diversity is India's strength. But what's happening on ground in Uttar Pradesh? In fact, across the Braj Mandal, you have Hindu groups that say, keep Muslims out, we want our Holi safe. In Madhya Pradesh, in Bhopal, there are messages going viral where Muslims are telling each other, at least in these viral WhatsApp messages that we've accessed and some on social media, that in this Pak Mahina or the Pak month of Ramzan, buy only from Muslim shops and not from Hindus. What's happening? Who's behind this? We'll try and get you details. I'm Gaurav Sawant. On 5 Live, let me take you straight to Maharashtra where there's a big political showdown. And this showdown is over that cruel Mughal king Aurangzeb. Samajwadi Party leader Abu Azmi has hailed Aurangzeb. Samajwadi Party leader Abu Azmi says Aurangzeb built many temples and claims there is evidence to the effect that Aurangzeb was not a cruel king. On the other hand, Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Eknath Shinde has hit back at Abu Azmi. He says Abu Azmi must be tried for treason for hailing Aurangzeb. The Deputy Chief Minister says entire Maharashtra and the country knows how it was under Aurangzeb's instructions that Chhatrapati Shambhaji Maharaj was tortured for over 40 days for not accepting Islam. His eyes were gouged out. He was ill-treated. Limb after limb was chopped off before Chhatrapati Shambhaji Maharaj was beheaded, before he was killed by Aurangzeb. And Abu Azmi is praising the same Aurangzeb responsible for the killing of Chhatrapati Shambhaji Maharaj. The Deputy Chief Minister says either there should be an apology from Abu Azmi immediately or a case of treason must be filed against him. Listen in to what Abu Azmi said. Listen in to what Eknath Shinde said. I'll get you more on that story.
सब गलत हिस्ट्री दिखाई जा रही है। औरंगजेब रहमतुल्लाह अलैह ने बहुत सारी मंदिरें बनवाई हैं और आप बनारस में जाकर देखेंगे एक बच्ची, पंडित की बच्ची को जब उनका ही एक सिपाही सालार उसके साथ शादी करना चाहता था, उन्होंने उस सिपाही सालार को 2 हाथियों के बीच पैर बांध कर मार दिया और उन पंडितों ने उनके लिए एक मस्जिद बना के दिया वहाँ पर। क्या बात करते हैं, ये गलत हिस्ट्री।
तो आप औरंगजेब को क्रूर शासक नहीं मानते हैं?
नहीं, मैं नहीं मानता।
औरंगजेब क्रूर शासक नहीं?
बिल्कुल नहीं, मैं बिल्कुल क्रूर शासक नहीं मानता।
उनका बयान बहुत ही गलत है और निंदाजनक है। जो औरंगजेब ने छत्रपति संभाजी महाराज को 40 दिन इनका हलाल किया है, अत्याचार किया है, उनके नाखून निकाले, आंख निकाले, चमड़ी उधेड़ दी, जीभ जबान काट दी, ऐसे औरंगजेब को अच्छा कहना ये तो महापाप है। और इसलिए ये अबू आजमी इन्होंने माफी मांगनी चाहिए। ये राष्ट्र पुरुषों का अपमान है, इसलिए उनके ऊपर देशद्रोह का गुना दाखिल करना चाहिए।
So very clearly for Abu Azmi, and this controversy started after that motion picture Chhawa. Even Prime Minister Narendra Modi praised that movie. He spoke of how the film industry had played a critical role. The new generation is learning so much about our history, about our culture, about our fighters. Spoke of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, the founder of the Hindvi Swaraj. Spoke of Chhatrapati Shambhaji Maharaj, or Chhawa, or a lion cub as he was known. Abu Azmi says this is not history. The films are not telling our people the right thing. He says that Aurangzeb was neither cruel nor did he have a role in the demolition of temples. However, there is evidence there is evidence, literary evidence and evidence from the Mughal court itself. The Mughal court had documented how Aurangzeb had ordered that the temple at Kashi Vishwanath or the Sri Krishna Janmabhoomi temple at Mathura should be demolished. This is Mughal history. But Abu Azmi is denying it. But I want to bring in Abhijit Karande for more on the story. Abhijit, how did this suddenly escalate? Why is Abu Azmi defending Aurangzeb? What prompted this?
Gaurav, this thing started from the Madhi Yatra, which is situated at Ahilyanagar district, which is old name is Ahmednagar. And
Yes.
BJP's leader and the Yatra committee decided that no any Muslim businessman will be allowed into the Yatra. After that proposal from the villagers and the other people, Yatra committee, government officials completely scrapped that proposal and allowed Muslims community to do a business, regular business. After that, Nitesh Rane, who is a minister from Maharashtra cabinet, went there and he took one meeting there and he said that we will not tolerate the people who are adoring Aurangzeb or the people who are projecting Aurangzeb as their hero.
Yes.
To responding Nitesh Rane, then Aurangzeb came into the, then Abu Azmi came into the picture and said that Aurangzeb was not against the Hindus, Aurangzeb was not the cruel ruler, or he have not demolished any temples in history. But as we know that, and one more thing, he said that Aurangzeb, that battle between Aurangzeb and Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj or Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj was not between the religious leaders, but the battle between the two kings for the territory. So he was defending Aurangzeb, his ruling, his acts also, and after that Shiv Sena, UBT, Shiv Sena, Shinde faction and BJP also aggressively coming into the picture and asking to take action against the Abu Azmi also.
Keep tracking that story, Abhijit. I will come back to you for more. Clearly, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was the founder of the Hinduvi Swaraj in this country, and there's much more that Abu Azmi and of course everybody else, all other Indians, they need to learn so much more about the founder of the Hinduvi Swaraj and that fire that Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, he lit it. Sambhaji carried it forward, so did Rajaram, Chhatrapati Rajaram, so did the Peshwas, and that was the death knell for the Mughal dynasty at Red Fort. But I want to now move on to the other big story. Social media posts calling for boycott of non-Muslim businesses. And these are social media posts that are going viral in Bhopal, in Madhya Pradesh. They're saying, during Ramzan, don't buy from Hindus. It's circulating, and watch this. So there is somebody who says, रमजान का मुबारक महीना आ गया, रमजान मुबारक खरीदारी देखभाल कर करे, उन लोगों से खरीदे जो खरीदारी से अपना रमजान और ईद खुशी के साथ मना सके. इस्तिंजा तो दूर की बात है, नजिस के बाद भी हाथ नहीं धोते, or words to that effect. And these are very loaded religious terms that are being used, which means that impure practices and so there's a section who says you don't follow their religion, you're kafirs. So all of this is being said in Madhya Pradesh, but that's in Madhya Pradesh. In Uttar Pradesh, you have Hindu groups that are saying Muslims should be kept out. Muslims should be kept completely out of holy celebrations, not just in Mathura or Vrindavan, but across the Braj Mandal, because they are saying that chemicals or other, impurities are being brought in colors, and that is not good. Are these calls for boycott justified is the big question we are asking, and we'll debate that. But first, this report.
Buy iftar items only from Muslims. Buy from those who will be happy during Ramzan and Eid. Buy for Ramzan and iftar from your own. These are just a few of the viral posts on social media. Many more are being circulated in Madhya Pradesh in the month of Ramzan. The posts are calling on the Muslim community to buy goods from those of their own faith.
ये देखिए मैसेज हैं, ये देख ही रहा हूँ मैं, इस टाइप के मैसेज चल रहा है ये, और एक मैसेज और चल रहा है, कई तरह के मैसेज हैं, ट्विटर पे भी आ रहे हैं। तो ये मैसेज नहीं चलना चाहिए। चाहे हमारे हिंदू भाई की तरफ से अगर इस टाइप के मैसेज चले तो वहाँ से भी नहीं चलना चाहिए, अगर मुस्लिम भाई की तरफ से ये मैसेज चलते तो यहाँ से भी नहीं चलना चाहिए, क्योंकि ये वतन हमारा मादरे वतन हिंदुस्तान गंगा जमुना तहजीब का मुल्क है।
हमारे जितना भी व्यापार है एक दूसरे से जुड़ा हुआ व्यापार है, और भारत की विशेषता है अनेकता में एकता, और भारत की विशेषता को बाधित करने वाले मैसेज हैं जिनको हम बहुत पुरजोर तरीके से इसकी मुखालफत करते हैं।
मेरे मुस्लिम समाज के लोगों से भी अपील करता हूं कि खुल के सामने आना चाहिए और ऐसे लोगों का बहिष्कार करना चाहिए, क्योंकि जो लोग ये मैसेज चला रहे हैं वो मुसलमान तो कतई नहीं है।
While locals say they won't let such hate divide the society, politics is speaking on the issue.
ये जो बात कही जा रही है और इसका जो ट्विटर पर मुहिम चलाई जा रही है, मुझे लगता है कि सपा बासपा या कांग्रेस अब चुप क्यों है, अब कहां मर गई सपा बासपा कांग्रेस, अब क्यों बोलकर नहीं बोल रही कि ये देश जो है गंगा जमुनी तहजीब का देश है और इसलिए सबको सबका सम्मान करना चाहिए।
ये दुर्भाग्यजनक है और भारत के समतामूलक स्वभाव के विपरीत है।
Meanwhile, in Uttar Pradesh, Hindutva outfits are seeking a ban on Muslims during holy celebrations across Braj Mandal, including Mathura, Vrindavan, Nandgaon, Barsana, Gokul and Dauji.
ब्रज क्षेत्र में हम मथुरा, वृंदावन, नंदगांव, बरसाना, गोकुल, दाऊजी सभी जगह होली के दौरान मुस्लिम समाज के प्रवेश पर प्रतिबंध लगाएंगे। हम बिल्कुल नहीं चाहते कि मुस्लिम समाज का कोई भी व्यक्ति किसी भी प्रकार का व्यापार, रंग गुलाल बेचने का काम होली में करे या होली की भीड़ में घुसकर हुड़दंग करे।
The Congress and the Samajwadi Party have accused the BJP of spreading hate.
कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी उनसे जुड़े हुए संगठन का एकमात्र लक्ष्य है नफरत और बंटवारे की राजनीति करना।
मोहन भागवत जी की ही बात कर लेते हैं। वो कहते हैं कि तमाम भाजपा के नेता और तमाम लोग शॉर्टकट लेकर हिंदू और मुसलमान के बीच नफरत की बात करके हिंदुओं का नेता बनने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। ये मथुरा का हिंदुओं के नाम पर बनाया गया छद्म संगठन, ये भी उसी शॉर्टकट का एक हिस्सा है।
Are the calls for bans and economic boycotts justified? With Ravish Pal Singh in Bhopal, Bureau Report, India Today.
So where are these boycott calls coming from? Unity in diversity has been India's strength. It's been the strength of our culture. But fault lines are increasingly coming to the fore with increased frequency from Bhopal, where messages are going viral on social media asking Muslims not to buy anything from Hindu shops during the month of Ramzan, to the Braj Mandal in Uttar Pradesh, where police are being requested to ensure that there are no Muslim shopkeepers selling gulal or colors mixed with any harmful chemicals. Is all of this happening as part of a wider design? What steps can the administration actually take to ensure that the festive season is not marred by communal tensions? Joining me on this India Today special broadcast is Charu Pragya. She represents the Bharatiya Janata Party on the broadcast. Maulana Sajid Rashidi joins us on the show, as does Dr. Vikram Singh, former Director General of the Uttar Pradesh Police, and he's dealt with situations like this in the past. But Maulana Sajid Rashidi, ये किस तरह के मैसेजेस हैं जो आप देख रहे हैं भोपाल में, जो कह रहे हैं नजिस का क्या मतलब निकाला जाए कि जो रिचुअली इम्प्योर है एक तरीके से, कि जो लोग अपने हाथ भी नहीं धो रहे हैं बाथरूम जाने के बाद, उनसे रमजान और इफ्तार की शॉपिंग ना करें, केवल अपने ही लोगों से करें। एक तरफ ये बरेली में एफआईआर दर्ज करने की नौबत आ जाती है कि अगर हिंदू वहां पर होली मनाना चाहते हैं तो अल्पसंख्यक समुदाय के लोग आके उन्हें पीट देते हैं और कहते हैं यहाँ लाशें बिछ जाएंगी अगर होली मनाई जाएगी। हो क्या रहा है सर?
गौरव भाई, ये मानसिक बीमार लोग हैं, ये जहनी बीमारी में मुब्तला हैं। आप मुझे बताइए, कितने मुसलमान मिठाई बनाते हैं, कितने मुसलमान नमकीन बनाते हैं, कितने मुसलमान बड़े व्यवसाय में हैं? आप सोशल बाइकाट करके, इकोनॉमी बाइकाट करके हिंदू का आप कौन सी चीजें मुसलमानों से खरीद सकते हैं? आधी से ज्यादा चीजें ऐसी हैं जो जरूरी चीजें हैं और वो सब हिंदू कर रहे हैं, और कुछ चीजें ऐसी हैं जो मुसलमान कर रहे हैं। ये जो इस तरह की बाइकाट का मामला करते हैं, जैसे बरेली के अंदर कहा कि लाशें बिछा देंगे, ये मुसलमान नहीं है, ये बिल्कुल मुसलमान नहीं है। मैं कंडम करता हूं इनको। इस्लाम में ऐसा बिल्कुल भी नहीं। मैं कुरान की एक आयत पढ़कर सुनाता हूं आपको गौरव भाई। कुरान ये कहता है, वला तसुब्बुल लज़ीना यदऊना मिन दूनिल्लाह, जो अल्लाह के अलावा दूसरे भगवानों को मानते हैं, दूसरे खुदाओं को मानते हैं, उनको बुरा भला मत कहो, उनके लिए ऐसी बातें मत कहो कि उनको हट हो, उनको बुरा लगे। जब कुरान इस बात को कह रहा है,
के खिलाफ तो कड़ी कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए कि ये तो फिर
कड़ी कार्रवाई नहीं, मैं उसी पर आ रहा हूं। कड़ी कार्रवाई नहीं, ऐसी कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए कि जमाना देखे इसको, हिंदुस्तान के सब लोग देखें।
और मुस्लिम समाज को इस तरह के लोगों का बहिष्कार करना चाहिए। बट आई वांट टू ब्रिंग इन चारू प्रज्ञा आल्सो इनटू दिस कन्वर्सेशन, बिकॉज़ चारू प्रज्ञा, इफ miscreants in Bareilly or Bhopal create a law and order issue, how correct is it for Hindus at the Braj Mandal to issue a boycott call? Why should, what is this Dharm Raksha Sangh? What do you make of their boycott call, Charu Pragya? Okay, give me a moment as I try and reestablish that link with Charu Pragya. Dr. Vikram Singh, the police swung into action when Hindus were assaulted and they were warned against celebrating Holi in Bareilly when some Muslims came and said, yahan par lashe bich jayenge agar Holi manai gayi. But, in our own country, being told you'll be killed if you try and celebrate Holi, some people apparently are still at large. Are these local instances, what is happening in Bareilly, or these messages that are going viral in Bhopal? Or do you see a wider conspiracy on both sides, if I may, to try and fan communal divide? What do you make of it and what needs to be done?
Good afternoon, Gaurav ji and my esteemed panelists. I would say that this is not for the first time that such perverse action is visible. I would say it is extremely in bad taste, insane, uncalled for, and irresponsible. And I condemn this in the strongest terms. Like me, you have also celebrated Holi and all the festivals collectively without any distinction of Hindus or Muslims. God be our witness. And anyone who says that this festival can be celebrated without our Muslim brothers and Muslim without our Hindu brothers, I think is absolutely irresponsible. And as Maulana Rashidi has said, I strongly recommend that the police take action against them, deterrent action, so that those trying to spew venom, those trying to promote communal hatred should be taken to task. This is not acceptable in New India. Both the brothers, Hindus and Muslims, have to live and coexist as they have lived for centuries together, have celebrated all the festivals for centuries together. And anybody who says that it has to be otherwise, ban the entry of a particular community or ban the entry of anybody else, I think should be booked under law. Peace committees be formed, and there should be a collective and a common declaration from the DM and the SP's office that these are people with a criminal mentality and they will be booked as per law. And they will not be allowed to spread venom and spread communal hatred, Gauravji.
Okay, but are there elements and other elements who try to vitiate the atmosphere and to keep the purity of the festival? Such elements, do they need to be dealt with before the festival starts and in a very hard manner? But Charu Pragya, I want to understand from you. Yes, so some people in Bhopal created these WhatsApp messages and circulated them. Some people in Bareilly tried to say कि अगर होली मनाओगे तो लाशें बिछ जाएंगी. But because of such elements, is it correct to issue a call to boycott all Muslims in the Braj Mandal and say do not buy anything from Muslims in Braj Mandal? What's the thinking behind that?
Gaurav, good evening. I believe that in recent times in the country, and because of the efforts of certain political parties which are in the opposition today, certain governments in certain states which are bent on dividing India on religious lines, these kind of sentiments have been festering. I'll give you solid examples. You look at Telangana government, they comfortably give a chutti for Ramzan. They say government employees who are fasting can leave office at 4 p.m. But no such provision is made if a Christian is fasting for Lent or a Hindu is fasting for any of his festivals, for Navratri, for example. In West Bengal recently, the leave in schools for Eid has been extended from 1 day to 2 days while taking away the chutti which used to exist for Vishwakarma Puja. In Karnataka, we see an extra reservation being given on religious lines, which is contrary to what our constitution talks about. I can talk state-wise and explain how these political parties have managed to lodge this wedge between the fabric of actual secularism that existed in India. Now, in the name of pseudo-secularism...
But, Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh are both BJP ruled, and the current issue that we are raising are both in BJP ruled states. So whether it's, the Muslims in Bhopal who may say boycott Hindus, or the Hindus in Braj Mandal who are saying boycott Muslims, if both are in violation of law, shouldn't action be taken against both sides, including those Muslims who said, we'll kill anybody who celebrates celebrates Holi? Put them all in jail so that we all celebrate festivals nicely.
Let's put some things in perspective. One stray person threatening something should be looked at with the lens of law and order, not of religion, which is what the opposition wants to do. There is an opposition leader who said, 15 minute ke liye police hata dijiye. Now, these things also need to be taken equally seriously. Let me tell you, in every single BJP-ruled state, we are very clear about Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. When a notification is passed for loudspeakers, it applies for kirtans as well as azan. So it is not religious at all. It is only about maintaining decorum in front of people and maintaining law and order. That is it. But we have seen in recent times that even during the Kumbh in Prayagraj, efforts were made to disrupt the Shantipurn Snan that was happening. Videos were made. When it was found out and the investigation happened about these people, it seemed to be completely motivated and driven by a certain section of society. We need to call that out. In recent times, whether it is Ram Navami, most recently in Hazaribagh in Jharkhand, whether it is Ganesh Chaturthi, incidents happen that trigger people into thinking that Hindu sentiments are systematically being hurt by concentrated efforts. And these
You're
are
talking about Hindu sentiments. Let me take that to Maulana Sajid Rashidi. Maulana Sajid Rashidi, अगर औरंगजेब की क्रूरता को दर्शाया जाता है, तो उस पर आज के समाजवादी पार्टी के नेता अबू आजमी जैसे नेता है, वो औरंगजेब के बचाव में क्यों उतर आते हैं? औरंगजेब का आज के मुसलमानों से क्या लेना देना? अगर अभी की आपको बात बता रहा हूं, अबू आजमी औरंगजेब को डिफेंड कर रहे हैं, वहां महाराष्ट्र में सभी व्यथित हैं। एकनाथ शिंदे वो बता भी रहे हैं किस तरह औरंगजेब ने छत्रपति संभाजी महाराज की आंखें निकाल ली, उनको यातना दी, उनकी चमड़ी उधेड़ दी क्योंकि उन्होंने इस्लाम धर्म नहीं कबूला। अब ऐसे व्यक्ति के बचाव में क्यों उतर के आ रहे हैं आज के मुसलमान या अबू आजमी?
देखिए, अबू आसिम आजमी ऐसा तो है नहीं कि हिंदुस्तान के मुसलमानों के लीडर हैं या उनकी आवाज पे हिंदुस्तान का मुसलमान लब्बैक कहता है। जो उन्होंने कह दिया अच्छी बात है, वो उनकी अपनी व्यक्तिगत राय है। मैं समझता हूं कि जो कई सौ साल पहले जो लोग गुजर गए, उन्होंने जो किया, अच्छा किया, बुरा किया, वो हमारे लिए आइडियल नहीं है। आज का मुसलमान उनको आइडियल मानकर जिंदगी नहीं जी रहा है। हमारे लिए आइडियल जो है वो कुरान है, अल्लाह के रसूल मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम है, उसके अलावा कोई आइडियल नहीं है। वो एक
आप ये कह रहे हैं कि औरंगजेब आज के मुसलमान का हीरो या रोल मॉडल नहीं है?
नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं। वो एक मुस्लिम शासक था, आया और चला गया। कुछ काम उसने अच्छे भी किए होंगे, कुछ काम उसने बुरे भी किए होंगे। हिस्ट्री जिसको पढ़ना है वो देखे हिस्ट्री में क्या है। सवाल ये है कि आज के मुसलमान को औरंगजेब का नाम लेकर पड़ताड़ना भी नहीं देनी चाहिए। आज का मुसलमान
चारू प्रज्ञा आपको जवाब देना चाहती है, क्योंकि फिर आज के जमाने में माँ बाप अपने बेटे का नाम औरंगजेब क्यों रखते हैं? मतलब हिटलर तो कोई अपने बेटे का नाम नहीं रखता यूरोप में, लेकिन ठीक। चारू प्रज्ञा एंड देन डॉक्टर विक्रम सिंह। चारू प्रज्ञा क्विकली रिस्पॉन्ड, डॉक्टर विक्रम सिंह आल्सो वांट्स टू
दैट इज अ वेरी कन्वीनियंट स्टैंड। व्हाई द आउटरीच? मौलाना जी, आप लोगों ने जो हल्ला मचाया है सिर्फ एक फिल्म देखकर, वो होता ही नहीं अगर आपकी कोई धारणा हर्ट नहीं हुई होती। The fact of the matter is, Gaurav, today they are trying to pretend that everything is clean and good, but that's not the case. The thing is, when I am talking about concentrated efforts to make sure Hindu festivals are disrupted, I am talking with facts. I will give you dates and names of cities where this has happened. Murshidabad, Rajasthan mein hua hai, Karnataka mein Ganpati Bappa was put in a lockup van. I didn't see anybody making an outrage then about these kind of things. But Aurangzeb is shown in a movie to be exactly what he is, in fact less than what he was when it comes to cruelty. Then there is this massive outrage that cannot be allowed to exist in modern India. You can't have it both ways.
Okay.
नहीं, आप क्या चाहते हैं सर? गौरव जी, मैं चारू जी से एक सवाल करना चाहता हूं। चारू जी, आप क्या चाहती हैं कि मैं भी अबू आसिम आजमी की तरह उनके साथ खड़ा हो जाऊं औरंगजेब के साथ में? आप क्यों मेरे साथ ऐसा व्यवहार करना चाहती हैं? मैं अगर उसको निगलेक्ट कर रहा हूँ, मैं अगर उसको ये कह रहा हूँ कि मैं हमारा हीरो नहीं है और मुसलमान का हीरो नहीं है, मुसलमान का हीरो अबू आसिम आजमी भी नहीं है, माफ कीजिएगा, ये सियासी तुष्टीकरण है। सुनिए, मैंने सुना आपको, ये सियासी अरे सुनिए भाई, अरे सुनिए भाई, ये सियासी तुष्टीकरण है
जी,
ये सियासी तुष्टीकरण है।
एक मिनट में आई वांट टू ब्रिंग इन डॉक्टर विक्रम सिंह आल्सो इनटू दिस कन्वर्सेशन। मौलाना साहब, आप बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं। मौलाना साहब, मैं आपके पास भी लौटूंगा और चारू जी आपके पास भी। डॉक्टर विक्रम सिंह, यू वांटेड टू weigh in on the politics around Aurangzeb and leaders like Abu Azmi saying that he wasn't cruel, he wasn't a bigot, he did not demolish temples.
Gaurav ji, I see no reason why this gentleman should have any reason to support Aurangzeb. Abu Azmi, I take you to the three classics written by Sir Jadunath Sarkar, Aurangzeb and Shivaji. And the opening paragraph, by the very theory of its origin, the Islamic State is a theocracy about Aurangzeb, wherein the true king is God and the earthly king merely his shadow. That is why it's known as Zille Subhani. And therefore, in such a state, to be a non-believer is no better than to compound with treason. The beheading of the Sahibzadas of Guru Gobind Singh, the beheading of Guru Tegh Bahadur, and I'll say, जिसको दीवाल में चुनवा दिया, कम से कम एक लफ्ज अगर मौलाना आप कह देते हम इसकी मजम्मत करते हैं, ये बिल्कुल नहीं होना चाहिए था। बट औरंगजेब, आई टेल यू, आई हैव डन लॉट ऑफ रिसर्च, I would say that he had a department of dirty tricks and torture was perfected into an art to extract confession and to bully people into submission. And to say that anybody would name his child as Aurangzeb is also something that is absolutely despicable and in a very poor taste. And anybody, a nation has a choice to make today. After seeing Sambhaji, of course, my generation had seen all the sacrifices that made by the Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, his family, and also the Sahibzadas, Guru Tegh Bahadur. Yes. If you fry people into in a cistern of boiling oil, by no stretch of imagination can you say that he's compassionate. He was a lover of humanity, and all the more reason I would say that you should condemn, and all roads named after Aurangzeb should be removed, and also the name of Aurangabad should also be removed. The India is the only nation.
Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj Nagar, you're absolutely right. मौलाना साहब, आप अपनी बात पूरी कीजिए। बिल्कुल सही कह रहे डीजीपी साहब जब वो कह रहे कि औरंगजेब तो एक क्रूर शासक था, और केवल औरंगजेब नहीं, जहांगीर जिसने 5वें सिख गुरु को 1606 में तपते लोहे की प्लेट पर बिठा दिया था, गुरु अर्जन देव को किस तरह उनको टॉर्चर किया था 5वें सिख गुरु को, कि वो रावी नदी में फिर उनका अंतिम समय आया था। 1606 की बात बता रहा हूं। फिर किस तरह से 4 साहिबजादों को मरवाया था औरंगजेब ने, किस तरह से 9वें सिख गुरु तेग बहादुर को यहीं दिल्ली के गुरुद्वारा सीसगंज में उनका सर कटा दिया था कि वो इस्लाम नहीं कबूल रहे हैं। भाई सतीदास, भाई मतीदास, भाई दयाल सिंह, किस तरह से उनको टॉर्चर किया था। बंदा सिंह बहादुर को किस तरह से टॉर्चर किया था कि उनके ही बेटे अजीत सिंह का हृदय उनके मुंह में डाल दिया था। ये सब तो यातनाएं दुनिया जानती है, और अबू आजमी ऐसे आदमी को बोल रहे क्रूर नहीं था।
गौरव भाई, मैंने एक बात कही कि मुसलमान हिंदुस्तान का उनको आइडियल नहीं मानता, ना उनकी बात को मानकर आगे बढ़ रहा है। हिंदुस्तान का मुसलमान कहाँ मानता है औरंगजेब को? आप जबरदस्ती हमारे ऊपर औरंगजेब को थोप रहे हैं, जबरदस्ती थोप रहे हैं
जिन्होंने अपनी औलाद का नाम औरंगजेब रखा है।
अगर हम, सुनिए गौरव भाई, अगर हम उनको नहीं भी मानते तब भी आप मनवाना चाहते हैं। दोनों पैनलिस्ट जो है, मैं उनको कह रहा हूँ कि आइडियल नहीं है, आप कह रहे हैं नहीं, आपको मानना पड़ेगा आइडियल उनको।
नहीं, हम तो बिल्कुल नहीं कह रहे आइडियल है। मैं तो आपकी बात से पूरी तरह आपकी बात सुनकर एक्चुअली दिल को नहीं मानते हैं।
सुन लीजिए ना सर, मेरी बात पूरी हो जाए। मैं यही कह रहा हूँ, अगर कोई मुसलमान, जैसे अबू आसिम आजमी है, ये एक पॉलिटिकल पार्टी से जुड़े हुए हैं, इनको मुसलमानों का वोट चाहिए, तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति करनी है इनको तो बोलना है वो चीज। मैं एक मौलाना हूँ, धर्मगुरु हूँ, मैं आपसे कह रहा हूँ कि हमारा आइडियल नहीं है। मेरी बात का ज्यादा वजन है, अबू आसिम आजमी की बात का ज्यादा वजन है? अबू आसिम आजमी की बात का ज्यादा वजन नहीं है, क्योंकि वो सियासी आदमी है, उसको वोट चाहिए मुसलमान का, इसलिए
नहीं। लेकिन यही तो दुर्भाग्य की भी बात है मौलाना साहब। मैं आपकी बात से बिल्कुल सहमत हूं, लेकिन चारू प्रज्ञा एंड डॉक्टर विक्रम सिंह, आफ्टर दैट, दुर्भाग्य इस बात का, इट्स वेरी रियली अनफॉर्चुनेट दैट पीपल लाइक अबू आजमी, पॉलिटिकल लीडर्स लाइक अबू आजमी ऑफ द समाजवादी पार्टी थिंक दे विल गेट वोट्स if they say Aurangzeb was not cruel and that people even in today's day and age in India would name their sons Aurangzeb?
Gaurav, that is why in my opening remarks, I made sure to draw this distinction between BJP-run governments and opposition-run governments. I listed out policies for you to show how Karnataka government is absolutely comfortable saying that 4% contractual jobs will be reserved for Muslims. That is against our constitution and it is against the spirit of what secularism even means. And this has to be kept in mind when religious leaders and when political leaders want appeasement politics for their own selfish goods, the people of India have to put a stop to this. मैं मौलाना जी से भी ये बात पूछ रही थी और सब लोगों के लिए भी मैं ये बोल देना चाहती हूँ, योगी जी के उत्तर प्रदेश में या मध्य प्रदेश में the kind of work the government does or the facilities the government gives is not going to change from one festival to the other. Yes. And if that doesn't change, if we don't ask for your religion when you apply for any policy or any benefit from the government, then you've got no business absolutely pointing fingers and trying to drive a wedge between different communities in India. You need to stop doing that.
Absolutely. Closing comments, Dr. Vikram Singh. When leaders like Abu Azmi defend Aurangzeb, isn't that in a way, adding insult to injury and not recognizing the valor of true sons of Bharat?
It runs even more deep and it goes beyond appeasement. It is to the question that you will do with an Aarti ka taal. You will praise Osama bin Laden as you did earlier. You are praising Aurangzeb for the same reason, just for a few votes. And then you should have had the policy, I may win or lose, my country should never lose. But what you are doing is quoting the recipe of disaster. मौलाना साहब, मेरा एक मशवरा होगा, आपने कहा कि वो आपके नुमाइंदे नहीं औरंगजेब, अगर एक अल्फाज, एक सेंटेंस ये भी कह देते, हम उसकी हरकतों की मजम्मत करते हैं और हम उसके साथ नहीं खड़े हैं, तो और ज्यादा तसल्ली बख्श बात होती।
मैं 30 सेकंड मुझे दीजिए गौरव भाई।
जी मौलाना साहब,
ना तो कांग्रेस के हम बंधुआ मजदूर हैं, न समाजवादी के बंधुआ मजदूर हैं। सुन लीजिए आप एक बात, ना हम औरंगजेब को आइडियल मानते हैं, ना जहांगीर को मानते हैं। जितने भी मुस्लिम शासक हुए हैं, उन्होंने इस्लाम के लिए काम नहीं किया। उन्होंने अपना शासन फैलाया, अपना शासन किया और चले गए। मुसलमान को, आज के मुसलमान को उनके साथ जोड़ना, ये भी नाइंसाफी है मेरे साथ में। ये भी नाइंसाफी है।
आज के मुसलमानों को इसलिए
आज का मुसलमान नहीं जोड़ना चाहता अपना नाम उनके साथ।
यही छोटी सी
का
बात
मुसलमान
मैं
उनके
भी
साथ
आपको
अपना
कह
नाम
रहा
नहीं जोड़ना
था
चाहता
कि जब इतिहास सही मायने में पढ़ाया जाए, क्योंकि आप आज के युवाओं से पूछिए तो उनको मालूम भी नहीं होगा किस तरह से औरंगजेब ने या जहांगीर ने यातनाएं दी थी, किस तरह अकबर, जिसे पढ़ाया जाता है कि अकबर महान था, 30,000 राजपूतों को मरवा दिया था उसने चित्तौड़गढ़ में। 30,000। ये नहीं पढ़ाया जाता हमको इतिहास की पुस्तकों में, और ये सच्चाई है उस समय की। बट दैट्स अनदर डिबेट एंड वी शैल हैव दैट डिबेट इन टाइम्स टू कम, बिकॉज द ट्रूथ कैन बी सप्रेस्ड. It can never be defeated. The truth will surface at least one day. To all my guests, many thanks for joining me. There's another big story that's coming, and I quickly want to cut across to what the Bahujan Samaj Party Supremo Mayawati has just said. It's a big story in a series of social media posts on X platform. Mayawati, the Bahujan Samaj Party Supremo, has said Akash Anand is to be relieved from all responsibilities, including the post of the national coordinator, due to his continued influence of his father-in-law Ashok Siddharth, who was expelled from the party, for which he should now repent and show maturity. Mayawati said, and I quote, "On the contrary, the lengthy response given by Akash Anand is not a sign of his remorse or political maturity, but is mostly selfish, arrogant, and non-missionary under the influence of his father-in-law, whom I have been advising all such people in the party to avoid and also punishing them." Unquote.
Congress Neta body shames Indian team captain. Calls Rohit Sharma fat for a sportsman.
It is not body shaming. It's about the fitness of a sports person. I have always believed a sports person has to be fit. So I felt he's a bit overweight and I just tweeted on that.
Congress distanced itself from Fatso Jai. BCCI sportsmen hit out at body shamer netas. BJP calls Congress remark derogatory.
अब रोहित शर्मा कैसा ये बताएगा। ये कांग्रेस की मानसिकता है, कांग्रेस को एक ही आदमी, अगर आप उससे पूछो कि फिर प्लेयर अच्छा कौन है, कहेगा राहुल बाबा।
Congress insults Rohit Sharma. That is our top focus on India Today.
Rohit Sharma, Team India skipper. Now this criticism is being seen by many as extremely harsh. It's being seen as fat-shaming a captain, and it's actually sparked off an angry backlash on social media. The BCCI, of course, cleared the air. The BCCI has come out very strongly in support of Rohit Sharma. Now, if you look at statistics of the 141 matches in which he's been the captain, India has won 102. He has about 75% win rate, it's a success rate. India has lost about 32, 33 matches when he's been the captain. But whether it's ODI, T20 World Championship when he was the leader of the team, of course we were runners-up in the ODI. In T20 we were champions. Then IPL, he's led Mumbai Indians to a victory, title victory at least 5 times. Is this criticism justified? We bring you more in this report. Despite Team India winning every match so far in the Champions Trophy, they're still facing questions. Congress spokesperson Dr. Shama Mohammad, after Team India's victory against New Zealand, targeted skipper Rohit Sharma, calling him overweight. She was later told by the Congress party leadership to delete her post.
See, it was just a generic tweet about a fitness of a sports person. It is not body shaming. It's about the fitness of a sports person. I always believe a sports person has to be fit. So I felt he's a bit overweight and I just tweeted on that. And I've been attacked for no reason, you know. And I fail to understand a democracy. We don't have the right to speak in such a manner.
The Congress spokesperson's comments triggered another controversy, prompting her party to distance itself from her remarks. The BCCI slammed Dr. Shama Mohammad, stating that such remarks during the tournament could lower the team's morale.
पार्टी कभी इस तरह के खिलाड़ियों के बारे में कोई टिप्पणी कभी नहीं करती। तो ये जो स्टेटमेंट है, ये उनका निजी स्टेटमेंट हो सकता है। इसका कांग्रेस पार्टी से कोई लेना देना नहीं। कांग्रेस पार्टी इस तरह की टिप्पणियां किसी भी खिलाड़ी, किसी के बारे में नहीं करती है। बहुत अच्छा खेल रहे हैं, टीम का नेतृत्व कर रहे हैं, हम लगातार जीत रहे हैं अभी तक। तो वो एक बहुत अच्छे खिलाड़ी हैं, उनका बहुत बड़ा योगदान है भारतीय क्रिकेट में और हम ये मानते हैं कि पूरी तरह से फिट है, खेलने में सक्षम है।
किसी पार्टी की स्पोक्स पर्सन है तो उनको थोड़ा तो अपनी जो दिया प्लेटफॉर्म उसकी मर्यादा तो रखनी चाहिए ना, क्योंकि आपसे मैं तुमको मैं खाम खा मतलब ना, तो अगर उनको पता ही नहीं है, जिसके बारे में कोई कॉम्पिटेंस नहीं है, वो क्या चीज है, किसके बारे में बात कर रही है।
Political leaders are split wide open on her statement. A TMC MP supported Dr. Mohammad, while the BJP targeted the Congress party.
एक बार एक तो सेंचुरी किया गए 2 साल में और 2, 5, 10, 20 में आउट हो जाते हैं। उसको ना टीम में जगह मिलना चाहिए, ना अधिनायक रहना चाहिए। वो जो कांग्रेस की लीडर बोली है ठीक बोला है।
पंजाबी कहावत है, चवानी का आदमी दवानी की बात करता है, चवानी की नहीं, दवानी की। ये लोग चवानी के लोग हैं। अब जब आप इनकी स्टेटमेंट लाएंगे तो दवानी वाली बातें करेंगे। अब रोहित शर्मा कैसा ये बताएगा। इसलिए ये कांग्रेस की मानसिकता, कांग्रेस को एक ही आदमी, अगर आप उससे पूछो कि फिर प्लेयर अच्छा कौन है, कहेगा राहुल बाबा।
As India faces Australia in the first semi-finals on Tuesday, a debate has started on the importance of fitness on the cricket field. With Nikhil Naz, Nitin Srivastav and Rahul Gautam, Bureau Report, India Today. And I quickly want to cut across to India Today's Nikhil Naz, our consultant editor, sports, who joins us live from Dubai. Nikhil, is this now a conversation even in the team? Are people pulling Rohit Sharma's leg about his fitness, about what Dr. Shama Mohammad said?
Well, no, not quite, Gaurav. In fact, I think the team is quite far away from any of this controversy, and I'll tell you why that is the case. Had this criticism come from someone who knows his cricket or understands the cricket, I think the team would have spoken about it or taken it seriously. But looking at that tweet, and that's not to say that, you can't have a personal opinion. Of course, these are public figures, whether they're film stars, politicians, cricketers, they are open for public criticism. All of us are allowed to do that. They're representatives of India. So as citizens of the country, we can comment on that. But it also depends what is the kind of comment. Now, if you read that entire comment, it does seem like, whether it seemed more like a personal attack rather than a very objective take on the matter. Sure, you can have an, opinion about Rohit Sharma's fitness, and I heard Shama Mohammad's comment there in the report that you just played out. It said that, are we not allowed to express what we feel like? I just expressed what I saw, and sports people have to be fit. But I think there's a way of doing it. Let's not forget, he's the captain of the Indian cricket team. Yes. He's an ambassador of the sport. He's here in Dubai right now representing India on the whole. So, I mean, to write a line like Rohit Sharma is fat, instead of writing something like, I think maybe Rohit Sharma needs to work on his fitness. Is he fit enough to be playing cricket? I think that's the way you can have a constructive criticism about it. But I think the manner in which it was written, it's clearly there is some sort of a personal attack on him, on his fitness. Okay. And it's actually got the second part of the statement that makes it even more obvious that it's a personal attack, where she writes that he's not even a captain of repute. He's quite a useless captain in that sense. That's the thing that she's trying to imply, which is also really far away from the truth. In fact, nothing could be further away from the truth. He's one of the most outstanding captains that have played for India. The World Cup win, the IPL wins, all of that illustrate that. So what this tells you is that the person commenting, and as I said, you have all the right to comment, but you need to know the subject, right? If I, as a citizen, I can comment on a political party or a politician, but I need to get my facts right. And here's a person who's actually a spokesperson of a national political party. They have to be doubly careful with what they write. And I think this wasn't that. This was rather careless.
Let me also bring in Vikrant Gupta, and Vikrant's been traveling extensively. He's also traveled on the other side of the border and now back in Dubai. So Vikrant, tell me this. How should one view Dr. Shama Mohammad's statements on fact, her comment on facts of the skipper's captaincy?
In cricketing language, you could just leave the ball outside the off stump. Let the bowler tire himself or herself. What matters, Gaurav, is that he's leading an Indian team that just won the ICC World T20 Championship last year. He could also be the captain of a Champions Trophy winning team in the next week. He's got 49 hundreds in international cricket, mind you, and somebody who can get an international 100, I'm sure, is fit enough. I mean, when you talk about fitness, you talk about body shaming, that could be for you, for me. These international sports persons are fit. They know what to do. They know how to do. I'll just take you back maybe 20, 30 years and tell you about certain players. There was a David Boone who played for Australia. There was an Arjuna Ranatunga who played for Australia. And there was also a Shane Warne who played for Australia. Bring the pictures out, those videos out. Well, would not perhaps be selected in modern day cricket just on the basis of their fitness, but those guys scored thousands and thousands of runs. Shane Warne took some 1,000 international wickets. So, absolutely, these are, I think it's also up to us, Gaurav, to be very honest. If we did not take this up as an issue, nobody would have bothered. And maybe, there was another tweet that I saw where she said, and this is aside of the main tweet, I think she quote-tweeted somebody and said, what's so special about him? There have been other captains as well. He's a very mediocre captain. Now, that's her prerogative. That's her thinking. But let me tell you one thing. Rohit Sharma is loved as much in India as he's loved in Pakistan. I think that suffices.
Interesting. Oh, that's extremely interesting. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Both King Kohli and Rohit Sharma. And what amazing, he's very aggressive with the bat and very cool as a captain. And you guys see him so much closer. Nikhil and Vikrant for joining me for the moment. Gentlemen, many thanks. Hoping India has a spectacular win once again against the Aussies in the semi-finals.